Howdy folks, this is Franklin Day back here again on YouTube. Today I'd like to share with you a build I've done many years ago. This is not a card kit or a plastic kit, not a kit at all. It's primarily all scratch built using blue foam board. The construction of blue foam board has always been an old school must for scratch building, and a lot of you out there probably wonder, well, how you finish blue foam board on a model. It's simple. Use epoxy resin. The foam pores will absorb the resin, and when it dries and cures, it can be sanded, wet and dried, sanded. Then you apply Bondo glazing putty on the imperfections. Sand, and you prime, sand till the plane is completely imperfection free. Wings are made from blue foam board too, reinforced with basswood spar to keep it from warping. I put two spars on, which were sandwiched in between the top wing half and the bottom wing half. The nacelles were made from wooden dowel. And the aircraft itself was, the color schedule was dark sea blue. Now, the Martin Mars entered the service back in 1938. The prototype had two vertical stabilizer. It gave you the similarity of the PBM Mariner flying boat. By 1938, the Navy, they wanted something bigger. So Glenn Martin again filled the bill. And the wingspan of the Martin Mars was 200 feet. It was classified as a 747 of the 1940s and 50s. It was the biggest airplane of the time. And the capacity of the crew and passengers, it can carry up to 300 people. Very easy. It's a slow airplane, very dependable. It has one hell of a range. They can fly all the way from Alameda Naval Air Station from San Francisco all the way to Honolulu, Hawaii in 18 hours. The Martin Mars was stricken for the Navy Register in 1956. They had no need for flying boats. You had 4-engine prop-driven aircraft that had the equal ranges as that of the Martin Mars. And of course, the event of the jet age was coming around the corner, so that really phased the reciprocal aircraft out. But the Martin Mars during World War II was used as transport roles. It was actually kept out of the combat zone. The airplane, no way, could be able to defend itself in case it was attacked by Zeros. So evidently, it was more or less used as a transport role or evacuation aircraft. And the Navy ordered 5 boats. 2 were destroyed due to engine fires, and the remainder 3 were stricken for the Naval Register by 1956 and was sold for scrap. By 1962, Canada Force Industries bought all 3 Mars flying boats, and they used them as Barrett bombers. They're still used today. Here I'd like to show you my scratch build of the Martin Mars flying boat. Again, excuse my back, folks. This is a big airplane. Here she is, fellas. This is the Martin Mars, Martin Model 170 JRM-1 flying boat. Wingspan, 200 feet. Length from the tip of the nose to the back of the tail inference, 114 feet. Power plant, 4 Wright Cyclone, 2,800 horsepower engines per engine. This thing had a range of 4,000 miles. On this model itself, I dropped the flaps in the back, as you can see. The flaps are all drawn. This is a Hawaiian Mars, Beepers number 823. This model This aircraft was used all the way from 1947 and still being used today. And the Martin Mars will be in service for a long, long time. And it's a very easy airplane to fly. Again, I like to repeat myself, it can carry up to 300 people. I'll get a little close to this webcam. Right here is these doors here. They open up. That's where all your cargo goes in here. Crew entry is here. And there's a spiral staircase. It comes all the way from the first floor up the top here. And on top of your vertical stabilizer, there's a doorway open here where you can walk out. On the tail, on the vertical stabilizer, is 50 feet from here all the way down to the top of the horizontal stabilizer. This is a beautiful airplane. The Martin Mars was a very big airplane and was the biggest airplane of its time. Even nowadays, what we have out there now, it's still a big airplane. I put no cockpit details in there. Using masking tape, I mask off the window areas there and airbrush it by using an off green color, by using white and green. If I was thinking about using blue or silver around though, but that seems like to me the greens would be a lot more better. It shows up a lot more of the cockpit. And I built some beaching gear for it. Where it's at, I know certainty. I probably lost it somewhere. Like I say, when you don't look for them, you find them. But anyway, folks, this is my Martin Mars flying boat. And it took me exactly 4 months to build this. And it won 4 or 5 model contests. And it's one of a kind. I'm not certain there's any kits out there in this model. If there is, I stand corrected. It's a model airplane you don't see too much. Never modeled. At least I haven't seen any being modeled. But I enjoyed building it. It was another ultimate challenge for me. And so far, I'm pretty well convinced that blue foam board does the job. So any of you fellows out there like to model something from scratch, I highly recommend getting yourself some blue foam board. That's obtainable to Lowe's, most hardware stores, or any stores that sell household furnishings and materials. Home Depot, they got them. Very cheap. Comes by 4-foot, 8-foot sections, and cuts like butter with a good scroll saw. Get you a good set of plans. Templates are very essential, and getting the correct fuselage contour, how it's shaped. Same thing with the wings. Can't even play. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed sharing it here on YouTube for you great fellows out there. Before I close up, I'd like to thank Alex Modeling and the rest of you fellows that replied to my YouTube presentations I made. I'm very grateful. I started to have second thoughts if I'm being viewed by the public or not. I haven't got any nibbles, so time will tell, and it told. And I'm very grateful that you all viewed my YouTubes and tuning in. Again, the hands of time is telling me call it quits. I don't want to get shut off here, so I'd like to thank everybody. Please subscribe, and thank you for tuning in. And happy modeling, and God bless. And good night, fellas.